Let's quickly look at this first example, which is very simple, but the idea is to start with very easy examples so that later on, we can gradually make things a bit more challenging. Here we have a block diagram, where we want to reduce these block diagrams to their simplest form. As we mentioned in the previous video, what we need to do is try to select a point of interest to start reducing them. For example, if we think about reducing at this point where we have a summing point along with a branch, we saw in the previous video that working with these 2 points in the block diagram is very difficult. That's why we need to avoid this point here. Similarly, if we look at the front part, we also have a summing point with a branch, so this is another point to avoid one of the best alternatives. So it would be better to approach the problem from the inside out. For that, we are going to take these 2 blocks, which, if you notice, correspond to operation number 5 from the table that is available for download. In the description of this video, directly on the website controlautomaticoeducation.com, we see that we have a parallel structure. In this case, looking at the table, it's G1 in parallel with G2. They are added together, and here we would have the sum. As we mentioned earlier, we can simply reduce this to a single block that adds both blocks, G1 and G2, in this case. So we have blocks H1 and H2, so we're going to reduce them to this single block. If we carry out the reduction, we see that we've arrived at a single block, which is H1 plus H2. With this, we've now arrived at a basic representation. We already know that this representation corresponds to operation number 13, which is the well-known closed loop control operation. We know that a closed loop consists of the forward path and the feedback path, which is shown here below. As we can see here, G1 is the forward path, G2 is the feedback, and we've already seen that we can simply reduce it in this way, G1 over 1 plus G1 times G2. In this case, the forward path would be H1 plus G1 over the feedback loop, which would be this block multiplied by this block, in other words, H2 multiplied by H1 plus G1. With this, we have completely reduced our block diagram. Our first example. It's time to check if the reduction we just performed on the block diagram is correct. For this, we're going to use a software called Matlab with its Simulink extension. But before we verify the exercise we just completed, if you click on this card, you'll have access to all the videos on block diagram, where we explain all the concepts and where you'll find all the exercises we develop on this topic. Let's go to Matlab then. Here, we have several examples that we're going to work through in this case. To start, we're going to load some default values. We're just going to enter some first-order transfer functions here, as indicated. Example 1. Is it mandatory to load these values at the beginning? If we click Simulate, we can see that the example has already loaded. And what's important is that these blocks have been loaded. Here in the workspace, we have the block G1, G2, G3, G4, H1, H2, H3. This will be important in order to run the simulation files we have in Simulink. In this case, this is exercise 1. Let's check it, double-click on it. Good. Now, Simulink is open for us with the diagram of the blocks we had initially. And the important thing about having loaded the variables is that now, in these blocks, the variables are already loaded. H1, G1, and H2. In this case, if we click here on Simulate, the simulation will run. Let's see what happens. So, our block diagram, when stimulated with a step input here at the output, will have a response like this. Now, once we have reduced the block diagram, we see that we've simplified it to a single block. Let's check if it produced the same response. Indeed, we got the same response. So, we managed to arrive at an equivalent block. In fact, here we can look at this comparison block, and if we double-click on it, we can see how they overlap. Here, there's a yellow line, which is the response of the complete block diagram, and then the blue line, which is the response of the reduced block diagram, which overlaps the yellow one. That's why we can't see the yellow line's response. As you can see, the block diagram turned out perfectly. So subscribe to this channel to keep learning more about control systems concept. I invite you. Check out the control systems playlist and take a look at the next block diagram example. The comment section is open for you to share anything you'd like, and it'll be watching to read your messages. So, I'll see you in the next video.